Mina, Gonbanwa, JesusFreakinGamer here, back with my friend fucking Duck Cheese. I think I've used that name before as well.
Yes, yeah.
There's not much I haven't used at this point.
True.
Dried Finger.
It's odd because my name has been the thing least used on this show.
You know, you're right. That's actually true. The White Sign Soap, so we actually need to go back to that. An online play item, create a co-op summon sign. Same thing as the other ones. Be summoned to another world as a phantom through your sign and defeat the area boss again to Strength of Flame. That's right, you said you get an ember. Like, even if you're not a part of a covenant. You get an ember.
We get embered.
Oh, you don't get an ember, you get embered. Okay, gotcha. The nature of Lothric is murky, unclear. The White Sign Soapstone allows Unkindled to assist one another.
Okay, so that's one thing I do want to point out about this game. This isn't spoilery.
Yeah.
Because this was talked about before the game was released by a media outlet.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say any details.
Okay.
Or anything like that. There are things in this game that happen.
Yeah.
That potentially explain the whole time is convoluted cop-out that they always use.
Yeah.
There's now somewhat an explanation for that.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting.
For why time is all fucked.
Honestly, in my own personal canon, well, one, I hate PvP. I've mentioned that several times. Two, I've never even considered, oh, there's an actual reason for this. I've just always been like, PvP, fuck it. But that actually plays into it. It plays into it a bit more in this.
Now, it's not spelled out, obviously, but you can reason it out.
That's very, very interesting. Dried Finger online play item. Dried Finger with multiple knuckles. Used to strengthen connection to other worlds, allowing this. It tells you what it fucking does! Allowing the summoning of a third phantom, but also a second dark spirit. Also makes the summoning of a dark spirit occur earlier. Use with caution.
So this knuckle allows for 6 people to be in one game.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, a third white phantom yourself. 1, 2, 3 white phantoms. 1, 2 dark spirits. Holy shit. That's a full screen right there.
Turn into a shit show.
It's fun, isn't it?
Especially because the phantoms you can summon can technically be red phantoms. Using
Really?
the White Sign Soapstone.
Oh, I do it. Oh, I've been yawning so much today. Why?
Probably because we woke up super early.
I'll say before we started doing this recording here, there was again, it's the last day we're gonna really get a chance to hang out before we deploy. So we are living it up. We've had a long day together. It's been good. Holy shit, it's been a good day. Saw the movie Logan earlier.
That was a good movie.
That was a solid fucking movie.
This was the second time I'd seen it. Still cried.
And an ass-kicking lolly. Ah, the weeb in me was so happy.
I'm gonna leave.
It was just so good. The tower key, which I won't be getting for a little while, apparently. Key to the decrepit tower behind Firelink Shrine, which leads to the Bell Tower. For fuck's sake, come on. Yeah. The Bell Tower is the grave of Firekeepers past. And the Firekeepers disappeared in 2. They're back here now in 3. That's interesting.
Well, Firekeepers kind of disappeared in 2. I would consider the Emerald Herald to be a Firekeeper.
But she was the only one in the whole world, is my thing.
How many do you think there are now?
I figured we'd find a few around like we did in 1. I thought we would.
Okay.
Okay. The Bell Tower is the grave of Firekeeper's past. When a Firekeeper has served her purpose, she is led to True Darkness, where she enjoys a long-deserved sleep. Okay, like, True Darkness sounds fucking creepy as shit. A long-deserved sleep. Okay, so lots and lots and lots of undead Firekeepers. That'll be fun. Soul Arrow. Fuck you. No, I'll at least read it. Fires a soul arrow to use sorceries, equip a staff, and attune a sorcery at a bonfire.
Once again, playing with the theme from Dark Souls 1. Sorcerers are giant idiots.
Same difference,
Yeah.
huh?
How do you spell? Take magic stick, attune spell, go boom boom. That's all they fucking know. That's all they understand. Magic stick pointed at enemy. That's it.
Progress has not been made since Dark Souls
They're
1.
all fucking retarded. They were a little bit smarter in 2. In 3, back to fucking retards.
Wow, that's so funny. Variation of soul arrow developed by sorcerers of the Undead Legion of Pharaon. It's a Pharaon dart. Fire a soul dart. Well known among the Pharaon sorceries, it is learned far and wide due to its ease of use.
Hey, Pharaon, how we make soul arrow faster? Oh, making a dart. Okay! Stupid! Okay.
No respect at all.
Fuck you, sorcerers. You're all dumb.
Whoa, look at the... I'm sorry, just the graphical detail on that. Holy shit.
Much better than the last 2.
Way better, no comparison. Is that Gwen with the flame in front of him? I swear that's what it looks like. You are busting at the seams, sir. Holy shit.
Play the game.
Miracle imparted as charity to those of little faith. That's so good! A show of tolerance from the way of white.
This is my kind of spell.
Holy shit. Slightly restores HP. To use miracles, equip a talisman or sacred chime and attune a miracle at a bonfire. Good old dagger.
Ew.
That bad, huh?
One thing that's actually really interesting that I like in this game is if you equip a dagger in your left hand, he holds it backwards. Which is fucking cool. Like, you hold it like...
That's actually cool.
You hold it like blade this way. Oh, that's fucking rad.
That is fucking cool. Standard small dagger. Small daggers lack power or reach, but can deal quick consecutive hits due to their light weight. Highly effective when used for critical hits, such as after parrying or attacking from behind. Skill, quick step. Instantly step behind or around the side of foes, especially effective when locked on to target.
That's that little scurry I was talking about.
That's if it's instant, if you're literally just like, that's cool.
It's pretty instant. You have iframes when you're doing it too. So
Do you really?
Yeah, so you can't get hit out of it. And there's a lot of iframes.
In other words, you have the dagger in one hand and your main weapon in the other. Holy shit. You can fuck some people up.
If you know how to use it, yeah.
I'm probably not going to learn how, but the potential sounds really good.
Like, it's really bad for greatsword, like if you're fighting someone with a greatsword, because the hit arc is so wide.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But if you have like a short or mid sword,
if you're fighting someone with a katana and you know what you're doing, yeah, you can wreck face.
Wow, that is fucking... I mean, just that particular skill is fucking cool. And the short sword. Small straight sword excelling in thrusting attacks. The short sword is a light and easily wielded straight sword due to its minimal attribute requirements. Skill, stance. While in stance, use normal attack to break a foe's guard from below, and strong attack to slash upwards with a forward lunge.
So if they're blocking, you can break their block with the normal attack, or you can do a strong attack.
Very interesting. They've really tried to incorporate that FP bar, like, heavily. Is it... Honestly, just because of my playstyle from 1 and 2, it's hard for me to imagine... Like, at the end of the Gundyr fight, yes, I did my little special move because I'm like, okay, time to kick ass here. But I can't imagine myself extensively using this system.
Well, they're more moves than they are buffs.
Okay.
And so like the one you use is the buff.
Yeah.
Most of them are moves.
Okay.
And some of them are really fucking good. Some of them are meh. They're best for PvP or for fighting NPCs because they're, like I said, they're normally pretty unpredictable.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
keep it in mind. The Scimitar, small curved sword that excels in swift movements and consecutive attacks. The Scimitar's flesh-rending slash attacks are greatly compromised against armor and tough scale-covered hides. Skill, spin slash. Slice into foes with a large spinning motion, and follow with strong attack for a spinning vertical slash. Now
there are certain ones, like there's one where you have dual curved swords.
Okay.
And the weapon art is you do a spin, and then if you keep hitting heavy, you'll keep fucking spinning. Like it's just, and it does a circle of attack. Like anything around you's getting fucked while you're doing that.
Really?
Yeah. That's a boss weapon. But
that's interesting.
They're good.
That's really interesting.
And when it comes to like the heavier weapons, like I said, there's a great axe that you like. Its thing is you slam it on the ground, and a giant like eruption of lightning comes out.
Yeah.
That does a dickload of damage.
Yeah.
So things like that, where it's like big moves for big weapons, those are really good. Like when a boss is in between moves and he's staggered, that's a really good move to pull off because it does a fuckload of damage.
Okay.
So.
Gotcha. That's
Whereas something like this, a spin slash, is generally like crowd control moves.
Okay, I gotcha. Which I'll say, but the normal like short sword and long sword, just the long strikes, essentially is the same thing. It's crowd control. It's not really centered on like one opponent.
But normally scimitars, crowd control things are faster and do more damage. That's the thing with the FP bar. Once the FP bar is out, you can still do weapon arts, but they'll do less damage.
Okay.
They'll do the damage that your sword normally would without FP. Whereas if you use it with your FP bar, it does additional damage.
Okay. So actually, the skill you can still do that shit.
Yes, you can still do the skill. It'll just do normal damage rather than buffed damage.
Oh, that's it. That's also interesting. Okay. Cool. I'm learning how the game works. Speaking of which. Compromise against armor and tough scale covered hides. The thing in 2, where the mace was damn good. Like I forget what would that be? That would be strike damage. In part 1 didn't really fucking matter. How about in this game?
Oh, it fucking matter.
Just like in 1. Okay, gotcha.
This game pulls more game mechanics from 1 than 2.
Yeah, I'll say I'm getting a lot more feeling from 1 than 2. And people, honestly, liked 1 more than 2.
Yeah, they did.
So, and Miyazaki was in charge of 1, and he didn't come until the DLC of 2.
He was also in charge of Bloodborne.
And he was in charge of 3 and Bloodborne.
Which did, both of which are spectacular.
Yes.
So.
Good shit.
And now we have anime vampires.
Wait, now Miyazaki isn't in charge of that.
No, FromSoft is. FromSoft's still doing it. Or is it Bandai Namco?
I'll say I saw it on Bandai Namco's side.
Either way, we still have anime vampires. I don't give a fuck.
And they should have been pirates. Then the cycle would have been complete. Halberd. This long-hilted weapon mixing spear and axe is difficult to handle, requiring both strength and dexterity. It can be thrust like a spear or swept sideways like an axe, making it a versatile weapon effective against multiple foes. Some people fucking love the halberd. Some really love the halberd. Skill, charge. Hold spear at waist and charge at foe. Use strong attack while charging to extend the length of the charge. That's interesting. Mm. And the sorcerer's staff. Oh yeah, your favorite.
Fuck you.
Staff used
fucking
to cast
losers.
sorcery.
I actually don't hate sorceries in this, but
it's not as bad.
But they're all still stupid.
A common catalyst given to sorcerers of the Vinheim Dragon School. And again, shout out to part 1.
Vinheim Idiot School.
Equip a catalyst to use sorceries. Sorceries must be attuned at a bonfire before use. Skill, steady chant. Boost the strength of sorceries for a very short period. Works while equipped in either hand. Okay, so that's another buff. Talisman. Talisman for casting miracles of the gods. Once a very common item among the ranks of the old way of white. Equip a talisman or sacred chime to cast miracles. Miracles must be attuned at a bonfire before use. Skill, unfaltering prayer. Temporarily increase poise. The hyper armor, in other words.
Yeah.
While casting miracles, preventing enemy attacks from interrupting prayer. Works while equipped in either hand. And poise is stop, like if you're in mid attack.
If you are in the middle of an animation, poise is no longer I can never be staggered, I am a god. It's not that. It is now the higher your poise, the harder it is to break you out of an animation.
And in part 2, poise didn't fucking matter at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Also,
so technically poise is kind of back in 3.
Yeah. So with I was thinking about more weapon arts that are very useful.
Yeah.
There are quite a few weapon arts that have your character jump in the air.
Okay.
That's really good for dodging attacks. Particularly because quite a few of them you jump in the air at like this motion.
Okay.
So, for example, you'll see a lot of halberds in PvP. Because halberds are hard to combat in PvP. So, one thing that's really good is if you have one of those jumping weapons, wait for someone to do that charge shit on you, jump in the air, they'll run underneath you, and then you can slam down on top. If you're good at it.
Ooh.
So, the weapon arts, yes, they are used for very special circumstances a lot of the time. And they aren't something that you will be using constantly in combat, but they add a much larger amount of versatility to combat. You're capable of doing more things, and PvP fights become a lot more about skill rather than just swinging in a direction and hoping you hit something.
Is there still power stancing in this game?
There is not power stancing. There are weapons that are created for dual wielding. So
dual wielding is a thing.
Yes, you will pick up dual scimitars, or you'll pick up dual daggers, or dual maces, or dual swords. And on the item icon, there will be 2 of that weapon normally crossing each other. So then when you equip the weapon, you'll normally have it like in this hand, and then your shield in the other hand. When you go to two-hand it, rather than two-handing it, you'll pull out a second one.
That is interesting.
I like this system, honestly, a lot more.
Even though the PvP in 2 is still your favorite. And you said it's the favorite of a lot.
The PvP is now my favorite in Bloodborne. It's not as active as Dark Souls' PvP, but when you get a fight, oh, is it fun.
Good shit.
Because it's literally just 2 people just zipping around each other trying to fucking hit something, and it's hilarious.
Torch. A simple makeshift torch made from an oily rag wrapped around the end of a stick. Torches such as these are the easiest way to illuminate one's surroundings, but their use comes at the cost of occupying a hand that would otherwise be free. It can be used as a rudimentary weapon to inflict fire damage. It possesses no skill, being an ordinary basic tool. I'm assuming that there are dark areas in this game as well.
Yes.
For fuck's sake.
Yes.
And the torch is probably dead useful there.
Yes. It also has some utility.
Okay. So I really should get the torch. Like, of all the shit that's here,
the torch is always the first thing I buy.
Okay.
And I will say, pay a little, especially since I'm not going to be here.
Yeah. Pay
a little more mind to the messages on the ground. Because most of those people are trying to help you. And if you go into an area that says, for example, try torch.
Yeah.
Try taking your fucking torch out.
And this game, I don't have to worry about a time.
For example, there are enemies later in the game that put certain status effects on you. And those status effects disappear if you are close to a source of fire. So you can pull out the torch and remove those status effects from it.
That's interesting. That's really interesting. Oh, where are the resistances here?
X.
Okay. That's where attack power, guard absorption. Wow, that is shit.
52%.
God.
It's a parry shield.
I was to say, is this a parry shield? God damn, that is just so bad. An orthodox, round, small shield covered with leather. Small shields offer little damage absorption or stability, but they are lightweight and make ideal instruments for parrying skill, parry. And parry's going to be the same across all weapons that parry. So I'll read it once. Skill parry, repel an attack at the right time to follow up with a critical hit. Works while equipped in either hand. Crimson Parma. Oh, I remember this thing. It's worthless in all the games. It's completely fucking worthless. Standard round wooden shield is daubed with a red paint that symbolizes the blood of warriors. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption. Warrior's round shield, again, another staple. And it means jack shit, except for it has an interesting skill. Standard round wooden shield. It bears a double-bladed axe, the mark of a warrior. Wooden shields are light, manageable, and offer relatively high magic absorption. Not bad. Skill, weapon skill. Equipping the shield in the left hand allows one to perform the skill of the right hand weapon?
So rather than having to two-hand your weapon to do a skill, you can just hit the parry button with the shield in your hand, and it will do the weapon skill.
Okay, gotcha. Pretty worthless.
I actually never use parry shields. I basically refuse to use a shield unless it has the weapon skill. Reason being, I don't parry in this game. I parry in the first one. Don't do it that much in the second one. If I want to parry in this game, I use a katana. Because as I told you earlier, Katana's parry window is actually larger than these.
Yeah.
And it's much easier to tell when the parry window is. So I refuse to use a shield unless it has weapon skill or potentially some other kind of cool shit.
Okay.
But generally, I prefer weapon skill because if I'm in the middle of heated combat with a PvPer, I don't want to have to accidentally parry when I'm trying to use my weapon art, right? Like, if I see him charging at me, with the halberd, for example,
yeah.
I don't want to have to accidentally parry or even take time to two-hand my weapon to get a jump out. If I'm in a situation like that, I need to jump when I see that I need to fucking jump.
Okay.
So having that skill immediately available to me is crucial.
Okay.
So this, I actually strongly prefer weapon skill to parry in this game.
Okay. Another changing up of the mechanics.
Yep.
And guys, that's it for this episode. Going a little over 20 minutes, not horribly over. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button. If you disliked it, hit that dislike button. If you really liked it, be sure to share with a friend, subscribe, and join the freaks! I love you, and God bless.